information that I've actually read, and this was on Facebook and through a few links as well. And it's got to do with 5G and what that person was saying about, trying to block magnetic radiation. And the thing is that we're all electrical human beings. We've all got synapses that actually give us signals, to the different organs in the brain and so on. But the Earth is electrical. It's got radiation. They call it the Schumann radiation cycle. It goes round the Earth. There's 3 parts of this. It's a field, it's a magnetic electrical field. There's 3 fields. There's the one that's lower down in the Earth. Then there's the middle one, which is slightly off rhythm from the lower one. And then there's the higher one, and that is like, the planets and the sun and the electrical radiation or the magnetic radiation from the sun. Well, what I'm trying to say is it's the middle field that really affects human beings, because the middle field is our rhythm, it's our heart rhythm, it's to do with our vital rhythm and our vital energy. And the Earth has made all sort of organisms in this middle field. But what happens is now that we've got, this is what I worry about, with young people in the future, because they've got these smartphones, and unfortunately it interferes with the natural rhythm of animals and of humans. And this natural rhythm is something that we need to keep us well and healthy. It makes us move, it makes us breathe, it does everything. Our vital force it's so precious, this middle electrical, this magnetic radiation in the middle of the Earth's atmosphere. But what I'm trying to say is, because now that we've got 3G, was it 2G it started with, 3G, 4G, then they started to put up all these sort of radioactive frequencies. We had the radio, we've got FM, we've got AM or whatever, and they use all this radio frequency, and there is so many different stations and so much communication nowadays in these frequencies that they're getting clogged up, and the waves are getting higher and higher and narrower together, and that means to say it's affecting our natural earthly rhythm. And what happens is that when that affects us, then it knocks out a lot of our cells and our tissues. We've got ions in our cells, we've got our tissues, and our genetic tissues have got to do with the electrical rhythm that is actually a natural force. What happens is that when these radiation, the magnetic electrical radiation waves get smaller and smaller and smaller, it means that there's more data that is crammed into these waves. And when the 5G comes, then you are getting even more data pushed in, more and more and more. What is that doing to the rhythm, our natural rhythms? It's knocking us all over the place. It's knocking our cells, our genetic codes are getting rattled about. They are actually whacking us with this stuff, and it's all over. It's all around us. When they even frack in the earth and take the magnetic radiation out of the rocks and the systems to get more energy, they are doing that. When it's the same with the sky as well, when they put up these big masts. What I'm trying to say is that this radiation causes pockets of cancer, because when the cells can't operate naturally, like osmosis, as they bring in particles and take out particles, if they are getting zapped like that all the time through electrical discharges that are going into the cell, this means to say that the cell breaks down, it closes down, and the genetic codes change, so they make it into a cancerous cell. And this is what happens. You know, you're having pockets of cancer all over the place because there might be one of these masts. You know, there's Wi-Fi all. I mean, we just don't realise it's all round about us, and this is what our young people are going to suffer in the future. They are going to have diseases that are going to be horrendous. I mean, even think about it. You know, with the mobile phones, there's a lot of cancerous tumours. People get tumours in the brain. Maybe nurses have their electrical equipment in their pocket. Breast cancer. Men, prostate cancer. They've got their mobiles in their back pocket. These are the things that are happening. And it's even the same with the smart meters. The radiation impulses from that, and then you're getting these new buildings that are coming up with the smart meters and the cancer clusters of cancer there. And all I'm trying to say is the 5G, beware of the 5G, because you know what you're actually getting when you get 5G. You are getting fried like in a microwave, and that's what it's all about. And that's all I just want to say at the moment. There's lots more that I've read about it, but I can't remember it all. But it's something that we really need to fight against. It's very, very serious.
I think 5G is the end game.
Yeah.
It's the end game.
Yeah.